Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective. Sorry, trying to fix the screen there. Happy Tuesday! It is Tuesday! We got past Monday! Yay! So, anyways, how is everybody doing today? Um, we're back on self-love lessons. We are back on self-love lessons. So, let's start with the card, the Affirmators card first, and then we'll be on to, I believe it's lesson number 25. It is! Lesson number 25 of 30 for self-love. So let's get rolling. It was finally time to reshuffle the deck, so let's see what we got. Benefit of the doubt. Benefit of the doubt. I believe in the basic goodness of other people, and I give them the chance to show it. If they prove me wrong, they prove me wrong, that's on them. At least I can go to sleep knowing that I practice trust and forgiveness rather than fear and doubt. And later on, if I need to, I can always change my mind and retroactively judge them like it's my career. So it's not good to judge people, because, we don't want people judging us back, right? So anyways, again, benefit of the doubt. I believe in the basic goodness of other people and give them the chance to show it. If they prove me wrong, that's on them. At least I can go to sleep knowing that I practice trust and forgiveness rather than fear and doubt. I think that's perfect for what I was talking about yesterday. Yesterday was a bit of an interesting day. I had a different type of perspective. Kind of went back to old school, right? When we had an actual Hodgepodge Monday. And so I talked about some stuff that happened over the weekend and how we need to do better as people. And thank you for everybody who reached out after with their support, because it was really helpful and very needed, and I appreciate it. So anyways, sorry. Self-love lesson number 25. We're there. As I mentioned yesterday, because I changed the format a bit yesterday, we will be doing the self-love lessons for this week on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So Wednesday I'll be doing self-care and the self-love lesson. Good morning, baby sibling. Thank you. Okay, she likes my eyeshadow. I finally found glitter eyeshadow, and I'm so excited. I'm going to get more colors. But yeah, so thank you. It was I can't remember what color it was, but it's so cool. I love it. It just kind of sparkles. I mean, who doesn't need glitter in their life, right? I love glitter. So I know I shouldn't be allowed to handle glitter either. But anyways, so what things are you really good at? That's self-love lesson number 25. What things are you really good at? I'm not sure. A lot of things. I'm kind of a jack of all trades, master of none. There's so many different things that I can do, that I'm capable of doing. But I think it's good for us to sit down and, write down what things are we really good at. And I think sometimes when we're feeling low and we're feeling kind of crappy, and this is why I couldn't do this yesterday, because all I could think of were all these bad things, because I was really feeling kind of low on myself. And that's what happens when people tear us down, especially when people that don't know us tear us down, and people that do don't say anything. So that being said, I think it's good for us to challenge ourselves, especially in our worst times, to sit down and say, what am I good at? I'm getting better at jewelry making, or making the earrings. There's still a lot to learn. There's still a lot of styles I can learn. I'm good at writing. I'm good at doing this. I'm getting better at listening, but I'm really good at being there for people when they need, in high school I was a peer counselor. And, people would come to me, and I've learned over time, especially over the last year, how to listen better. Sometimes people don't need any advice or any words. They just need you to listen. And so I've gotten better at that. But I guess what I really want to be good at is just being a good human being. And that's not always easy. I'm not shooting for perfection. I'm not going for sainthood. But just to stop and take a deep breath before I react, to not knee-jerk anymore. Knee-jerking does nothing well for you. And as I admitted at the end of yesterday's perspective, when I came full circle, I had to take full accountability for what happened to me, because even though I was baited, I took the bait. I made that mistake. I chose to engage, and I shouldn't have, because I knew in my heart what was going to happen. But I also trusted that if my character was attacked, it would be defended, and it was not. And I think that's what hurt the most, you know. So anyways, that being said, there are going to be times in our life when people do try to tear us down, when people try to, even unintentionally, just to make their point, just to be right. And sometimes people need to be that way. I mentioned yesterday I used to be that way, you know, a long, long time ago, because I always felt like I was always so pressed under the thumb, you know, like I just had to prove that, you know, I could hang with everybody else. But I realized that the bigger strength is listening and learning, to talking things out without feeling like your opinion needs to be the opinion that is the resounding opinion. And I think this truly does go with what things are you really good at, because when people tear us down like that, we start to second guess ourselves. So the reason I love this as lesson number 25 as we close in on 30 is a lot of these things are going to be really kind of focusing in on your character now. A lot of these lessons are going to be looking at, you know, who you think you are, what can you do in your future, what big self-love lessons can you really lay into your foundation now, really truly set your foundation in, so that as you move forward past these 30 lessons, and you know, you're always welcome to go back. I post these on YouTube under the Aloha Perspective with Shelley Marie Lucas, and they're all dated, and they all basically have a, well, not a great title, but right in the subject line, not the subject line, but the body of it, I usually mention the question that was the question of the day. So, you know, or just pick one, because that might be the one that you need to see for that day. But you can even start over from the beginning and do those all over again, because sometimes it's what it takes. As I've mentioned before, this is the third time I'm doing this. So, but I like this lesson because, like I said, the last few lessons that we have over the next 2 weeks are really going to set into stone your foundation of self-love. You know, think of it as like when people redo their sidewalks, right? Or maybe they redo the driveway and everybody wants to get in on it and put their little initials, and it lasts forever. And that's kind of what this is. What things are you really good at? When you feel like your character is being taken down, when you feel like the world is just piling on top of you, sit down and remind yourself who you are. You know, come up with all these things that you know you're good at. It could be just, you know, fixing the bed without having a problem. Fixing my bed is like a pain in the ass. I mean, it looks like some kind of weird Cirque du Soleil act every time I try to fix my bed when I put the sheets on, because my bed, the way my room is shaped, my bed actually sits up against a wall. So it's like, oh, I tell you, I could be an acrobat. But one that cries when the corners come up. Anyway, I know it just gets so frustrating. But anyways, the point I'm trying to make is when we are feeling at our lowest, sometimes I think that's the best time to sit down with this self-love lesson and remind ourselves what we are good at, so we don't spiral, so we don't go down that dark rabbit hole, so we don't, you know, so we don't second guess who we are because somebody has said something to us that's hurt us. You know, I can be sensitive. I'm working on being not so sensitive, but I can be sensitive. Things do hurt my feelings. And I know that a lot of times I truly want to be that person that just lets things roll off of them. But I'm also an empath, so that's not always that easy to do. But when it really comes to, I've always been kind of a sensitive person since I was a kid. And, you know, being a Gen Xer, not always easy, because, you know, I mean, I know that there are a lot of people who are beyond my generation that have gone through the same things and probably reacted the same way. But I do have to say that it's like, it did not always go well when I was sensitive about things. But if I had this tool during that time, it might have been better. It might have been a real game changer for me. because I would have had to force myself to sit down, not writing anything negative, but writing things, just going through your mind and saying, I'm good at cooking this meal, or I'm great at baking this dish, or, dessert, or I'm great at writing, or I'm great at, doing vlogs, or I'm great at just typing out posts. Well, I guess that's writing. I'm great at taking pictures, or, I'm great at child rearing, or I'm great at being a wife or a husband, or, I'm a good kid, just all these different things. It doesn't matter what age you are, and I mean, don't just wait until you're falling apart to do these things. Do these things when you're also in a good headspace. Because if you get to that point where you really cannot sit in front of a journal or anything and write what you're good at, you can pull out this list and remind yourself who you are. And maybe that should be the exercise today. Write down all the things you're good at. Keep it somewhere that you need it, in your pocket, in your wallet, in, your purse. Make a second copy, keep it at your desk or your nightstand. Somewhere where you spend a lot of time. Make copies for those areas. And when you start to feel low about yourself, remind yourself what you're good at. For all the parents out there, maybe you feel like you're not the greatest parent. You know what? If your kids are still alive, breathing, and they're healthy, I mean, like eating and drinking their water every day, you're a good parent. I'm not a parent, but I can say this. From all the people that I know, being a parent is a moving target. I mean, no two kids are the same. And if you have more than one, holy cow, you're like a genius. You're amazing. Because I know I was a handful for my parents. I mean, not a bad handful, just kind of, I don't know. I'm sorry. Hold on 1 second. I think I'm allergic to myself. Anyway, I'm allergic to being an only child. Here's a fun side note. So one day I sat down. I was really bored, had nothing to really think about. I couldn't write. I couldn't create. I was just in this really weird headspace. And I legit sat down and realized that out of all of my thank you, older sibling, she blessed me. Out of all of my full-blooded first cousins, I have 25 altogether on both sides. I am the only child. One of my cousins was raised pretty much as an only child, but she connected with her brother eventually. So, but yeah, I was like, wow, I'm like the only child in my family. It's like I have no one to connect with. I have no sibling out there that's just wandering the world, that I know of. But anyways, don't tell my dad I said that. I'm just kidding. But anyways, but yeah, I thought, wow, I'm not sure if that's awesome and cool and unique or just really sad, which is why I adopt my siblings, older sibling and baby sibling, because yeah, I don't have siblings. But so yeah, anyway, I thought that was kind of funny. But anyways, those are the places my brain goes to, just kind of like, let me think about this until 2:00 in the morning. But anyways, again, the lesson for today is, what things are you good at? The exercise for today, write it down. Put one in your wallet or, your purse, whether you're a guy or a girl or however you identify. And, put it somewhere you'll have it with you wherever you go. Put one at your desk. Put one at your nightstand. Put one where it is safe. If you're worried about keeping one somewhere, laminate it, and you don't need a laminating machine. Just get some, packing tape, clear packing tape, and just laminate it yourself. Do stuff like that, and keep it there to remind yourself who you are, to remind yourself the things that you are good at. Maybe you can make a list that says things I'd like to learn, to become good at those things as well. Because, like I said, the world, it's a bright place, but it's a dark place, and we have tendencies to go down rabbit holes with social medias on social media that we shouldn't be going down. Sometimes we engage when we shouldn't be engaging. And I think the biggest lesson out of this is to remind ourselves in this self-love lesson who we are, what we are made of, and that, again, like I mentioned yesterday, what other people think of you is not your business. You may think it is, because you may think you need to defend yourself, but you know what? Do you really want to defend yourself against a person that doesn't know you but is making judgments about you anyway? No. You don't have time for that. You don't have time for people like that. Those are people who, possibly spend all their days or all day long on social media just, hacking the life out of someone they disagree with. And, the sad thing is a lot of times we engage because, like I mentioned in the past, we feel like we need to defend ourselves. We feel like there's, someone's attacking my character. And if you've gone through certain traumas in your life, that can be a trigger. And then we kind of give them our power. And we don't want to give them our power. So having this list of things that you're good at, it can remind you who you are. It can remind you and give you your power back. It can remind you and say, you know what? You can stop right there. I don't want to hear your bullshit anymore. Or just to leave it alone and not engage. To just walk away. Or walk away. So anyways, again, self-love lesson number 25, what things are you really good at? And write it down. Leave yourself little love notes all over the place of what you are good at. There's another thing you can do. Get a dry erase marker that you would use on a whiteboard, and you can write it on your mirror so you see it every morning. You can remind yourself every morning what you were good at. And it doesn't just have to be, I'm great at this thing at work, or I'm great, at doing this in the kitchen. I'm great at doing this somewhere else. I'm great at doing this. I'm great at this, that, or the other. It could be, I'm a great listener. Or I'm a great friend. I'm a great kid. I'm a great, spouse. I'm a great parent. And if these are things you want to strive for, put it up there. Because the more you see that and the more you believe it, the more it is going to take shape and become your reality. That's why we list what things we're good at. And I think that's a great lesson as we start heading into, again, what I said is going to really kind of dig deep into the character and into the emotions of who we are. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about shadow selves. That's going to be one of my favorites. But yeah, so going over the next couple of lessons, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting because it truly is going to be what this is literally the next 6 lessons are going to be the ones that really kind of, I guess, laminate this whole self-love experience and all these lessons we've been going through. They're the ones that are really going to solidify. It's like all this time we've been shaping this beautiful piece of pottery, right? And in the next week the next 2 weeks, it's going to be putting it in the kiln and saying, okay, harden up, toughen up, whatever it is, solidify, so that when you pull it out, it's this beautiful object. No matter what shape or size it looks like, it's just going to be this beautiful thing that you've created. And again, if you're struggling through the self-love lessons, there's no shame in doing it more than once. Again, like I mentioned just earlier, a few minutes ago, this is my 3rd time, and it's finally sticking. And I think a big part of that is because I went through, before we started the self-love lessons, I went through the first 3, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of that week before we started on Thursday, of laying foundations. And your foundations may look different than mine. But I do say, go back and listen to those 3 videos and then take from it what works for you. Everything I say may not work for you, but it might give you ideas. It might, kind of trigger something in there going, oh, wait, you know what? Maybe I could try this, that, or the other. And just run with it. Run with what works for you. Okay. The self-love lessons, these are just it's like the seed. And it's up to you to water it and allow it to grow. All right. So one last time, what things are you really good at? Write it down, keep it in places where you know you'll see it, where you, if you're falling apart, you know you'll have it. Or if you just need a reminder, again, you can use a dry erase marker that you would use on a whiteboard. A dry erase marker you can use on a whiteboard, and you can write this stuff on your mirror and remind yourself all these beautiful things about yourself. Okay? And maybe we can take it one step further. Aside from what things are you really good at? What things do you love about yourself? Make a list of all these things. All right. So I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Please, please, please take care of yourselves. It's Tuesday, getting closer to Friday. I know it's not quite there yet, but we'll get there. Tomorrow we will be on self-love lesson number 26. It is also going to be a self-care Wednesday. However, what's interesting about this is that I've actually done the shadow work for a self-care Wednesday, so I may have to go back and do my homework and figure some of this out, but we'll have a lot of good tips, okay? But tomorrow will be self-love lesson number 26 of 30. I hope to see you back here 8:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. All Facebook Lives are public, so anybody can watch under Shelley Marie Lucas, or you can catch the replay on YouTube under the Aloha Perspective with Shelley Marie Lucas. And I do save it to my Facebook page, the Aloha Perspective. Or I share it there. So anyways, I hope everybody, again, has a wonderful, wonderful day. Please, please, please take care of yourselves. Thank you so much for watching, and go out there and make your lists. Go out there and make your lists. I really, really think that can help you on your self-love journey. All right. Have a great day.